first okay wave this morning. So if you can tension that part of the body, it gives you a better framework. Pumping. 6 a.m. beach walk, trying to be the next JOB vlog style, but pulling into 2 to 3 foot Nicaraguan beach break instead of 8 to 12 foot pipeline. Well, let's get some. Let's get some. Woo. Check this. Oh, do you see what I see? Might be a good morning. Nothing like paddling out with the GoPro in your mouth to make sure you can do some efficient nasal breathing. I am the one, the way you're Let's get it. That wasn't too bad. Not too terrible. Killer morning. Gonna be a bunch of closeouts this morning. Like the scalp wave is too big. Hear this? Oh. What we've seen is this too big of a swell period. Oh, look at this one. It just shuts down the beach. One big old closeout. There's just so many just not noticeable, just closeout. Turn felt all right. It was the first okay wave this morning. I figure since it's in and amongst me pulling into closeouts this morning, time for a tip from an almost 40-year-old, kind of upper level, intermediate surfer that occasionally can get barreled and blow the fins out on a backside turn. Paddling. So I just had to do this monster paddle out amongst sets. One thing, this is going to get a little into anatomy here, but if you're at all familiar with foundation training, not you should be, when you're laying on the board, think about going for length. So light tension between the legs, good surfers do this automatically. What it's doing is tensioning the adductors via the deep front line. If you think of anatomy trains, it's going to start going up into some transverse abdominis, probably some internal obliques. So that light squeeze of the lower body, think knees squeezing towards each other, is going to kind of light up the inner unit. It's going to help stabilize the pelvis. Then, if you start thinking length of the spine, hold on. So, light tension of the lower body, and now I think lengthening the spine. If you lay on your surfboard and you lengthen, as if you're trying to reach the crown of your head away from your tensioned lower body in foundation training, they'll call that anchoring. But if you lengthen the spine and you try to get long, you'll feel muscles around the rib cage and torso start to activate via that lengthening. So suddenly, your paddling posture is going from, I'm fatigued, I can't lift my chest up, to let me get length first, as long as possible. And then I try to raise up from between my shoulder blades, and then I lift my head up from between my shoulder blades. And now what we know from pulling and rowing, that we're a nice long neck position. So it's not up into the neck pull, it's a nice long neck position, long spine position, and comfortable neck position. So when you're paddling, you're starting to get fatigued, or you need to paddle hard to kind of get under a set, or you're just looking for efficiency, go for length of the spine first. Maintain that length, because what it's going to do is activate muscles around the torso to help stabilize the rib cage. If you stabilize that rib cage, it gives you a stronger platform for the shoulder. Shoulder ties in via lat into the torso, lumbar spine, pelvis. So if you can tension that part of the body, it gives you a better framework or solid foundation to pull from. Because as you're doing a paddle stroke, it's considered essentially an open chain movement, meaning your body's pulling towards the hand, but you're also pulling your hand towards the water. So if you don't kind of have tension through the torso, and you're just kind of sloppy, loose pelvis, sloppy, loose spine, it's moving all over the place, there's not a solid foundation to pull from. So if you just think length, again, laying on my surfboard, length, squeeze the knees lightly together, length of the spine, and kind of maintain that structure, it's just a more solid platform. It's stabilizing the pelvis and stabilizing the rib cage, so there's more force distribution of that lat stroke. You're actually putting force into the pull rather than losing it just because you're wobbling all over the surfboard. So, quick tip, length, lightly tension the knees towards each other, go for length of the spine, keep that solid framework so you provide a foundation for each and every paddle stroke. Enough closeouts for one day. Didn't break a board, didn't snap a neck. Time to go eat some pancakes.